Alright, so last time we managed to get the server running and then connecting a client to it, right? And be able to play the game. And we also managed to get like other clients to connect the game and display them like as enemies on each side, right? But currently there is no interaction between the players, so that would be nice to have some kind of, I don't know, dealing damage, or like based on the number of points you can randomly choose between a winner and the other one dies, something like that. And yeah, we also handle disconnects better, so if a client disconnects, then it just disappears. It stops crashing the game of everyone, so that's nice. And I think, yeah, we also handle, I guess, yeah, in some way we also handle the case where you stop the server and it closes everyone's game. So I guess that's what we have for now. And the plan for today would be to add a collision between the players and maybe a timer that after a while shows the winner or something, I guess. So maybe let's start with the collision. I think that would be more interesting, probably. So yeah, let's go in the player lobby, and here we have a function called collision, but this is for coins, and I guess it checks, wait, let me see where it's called. So in update the player input, so this is collision with, I guess it's collision with a coin, so maybe we can rename it coin collision. Right, so coin collision. And I think that the collision between all the players should be done individually, or maybe it can be done in the same place. Like, actually it makes sense to do it here if you think about it, but not really, because then we send the position. So if it happens that we have a collision with another player, it's possible to actually remove that player. So I mean, you know, I don't know if actually removing it or just respawning the player. So yeah, actually it's a bit interesting if we, like, where do we want to run that check, because when we, for example, if we remove a player, we just remove it from the list. Okay, I guess server send to the player and message. So let's check. Wow, the methods here, and in here when we do server send, it's probably just sending the message. Yeah. So yeah, I think we can try to do something similar to coin collision, but only after we broadcast the position, because if we do it before, then we'll change the position. So yeah, I guess we can try to do it here. I mean, the other option would be to have a separate thread for checking collisions. And yeah, to be fair, I'm not sure. I have a feeling that they need to be somehow synchronized. Although not sure if they really need to be synchronized. Or how should we synchronize them. So yeah, let's add here check player collision. We are gonna get a player. Let's return an object. I mean, I don't know what this is gonna return, but yeah. So we are gonna have an iterator over the players, right? So we can copy one of these that we already have, right? And here, in case we collide with a player, we need to do some checks. So first of all, let's call this one P, or we can say other, right? So I guess that if the IDs are the same, then we can ignore that case, right? So if the IDs are different, then we're gonna do something. And if the positions are the same, so that's when it's a collision. So if the, I guess, not player ID is equal, well, I guess that's fine. Wait, do we have random? That's interesting. Yeah. Actually, yeah, that's but not really what we want to do. But we can try to see what happens if we use random, because yeah, like basically this is kind of what we want to do. But also choose the player randomly, so 28238. Oh yeah, but yeah, like also choose which player responds randomly or something like that. I think that would be, so let's say we have two of them so that we can do collisions. Nothing really happens. Wondering why. Okay, I mean, maybe we can display some messages. So, oh, we haven't checked. We haven't checked this thing. So, yeah. As I said, I think it's better to do it afterwards, like after we broadcast the position. So yeah, like after we broadcast the position, maybe that's when we want to do these checks. Right? well, at least it's interesting. We know if we do it like this, right, we get the player that attacks basically. So I don't know if that's useful. Maybe we'll want, but you know, if both of them move at the same time and stuff, yeah. So like maybe I was thinking, well, if the player that attacks has a greater chance of surviving or something. Still not sure how the logic of that should work. Obviously, the player that loses should lose all its points. That's like, obviously it makes sense. So like score becomes 0, or at least divide by 2 or something, I don't know. Score. And we have score increase and score reset probably. Yeah. So let's see anyway. Yeah, because check player collision is gonna be done only when you press keys, so only when you move. I guess, yeah, it actually makes sense then to do it here. Not sure if I see a problem yet with it. Whoa. Yeah, not really sure if I see an issue. Is to probably generate a random number, and then based on that number we decide which player to randomize. And I think that would be like an idea to do. And here let's say damage. Honestly, I think we want to divide the score by 2 or something on damaging. Right. And as I said, like, it makes sense to do it based on the score. So let's have something like let total is gonna be the total score, right? We don't even do that. So if we check random.cl, we can actually do random like this. So let's actually go into player lobby and let's have maybe something like time is equal to new time, right, for the time function, and we can call to srand, so random srand time. Yeah, all right, so we should have a random object. Yeah, so now here I would say probably like something like index is gonna be random. I would modulo it by total, right? I would probably modulo it by total, and then let's do an in, and basically, yeah, like I like the completion that's there, but I was thinking that maybe we should give the player that attacks more chances, like have a minimum or something. Like we can add here like +5 or something, and the player that attacks has a +5 chance. Or maybe the other thing is to have a minimum chance. For example, if you have a score of 0, you still have a 1 chance, right? Like it still counts as a 1 for the score. So we can do maybe here we can do +1, +1, and let's do +1 here. So each one has a at least 1 chance. But what if the player that attacks has a 5 that counts as has a chance that counts as a 5? Right, so I think maybe something like that. So I don't think we are gonna need that. Here, if index is less than player.score, right? So if we have the index being less than player score, and I think I would say +1, +5. Okay, whatever. Then I guess we want to damage the other player. And probably player score increase. Not sure if I want to increase the score only by 1 or by more than 1. I think this will add a bit of a balance if we have the enemy and only +1 the player. Like it kind of gives you the let's say an incentive for really small players to try to go around attacking, and for big players to play more safely, I guess. Yeah, let's see. So player damage. Wait, and class player. Yeah, here. Okay, I just figured out that if we call to random, it doesn't really update the position though. Well, I mean, we can easily just broadcast the position, so it's not a big deal. Right, so I would say something like other.random, and probably broadcast. I mean the other.playerID, other.position, it's more like a player update, right? And we can probably call to update with no input. oh, then it checks for, yeah, no. Although that's interesting, what if the new random position is in collision with someone else? That would be, imagine that. Would be a chain reaction that could be pretty funny though, if I think about it. Yeah, that would be pretty funny though. Let's do that. Like, instead of just moving it randomly, like we first move it randomly and then we say other.update and we give it no input. And here we do the same thing but for the player. I'm curious. I think this is the right logic, right? We get a total. Like the total is player's score and others' score. And if the new random number is smaller than player's score, it means that's in that range. So let's say that's when player wins. Alright, yeah, I think sure might make sense. Again, 266. Okay, and I saw that someone asked, like, why would we split, like, why would we report lexer errors and syntax errors in the parser stage? So let's say that we have like this, well, yeah, like a missing semicolon, for example, here, and we also have an invalid character, which is a hash. If we run this, I think, I mean, we get just the invalid character, but the idea would be that you should get both the missing semicolon and the invalid character, but I mean, my compiler is really bad and doesn't show that, but sometimes it does, like invalid character and expected semicolon, right? Like it should show both of them. Probably I did something wrong, but whatever. Like that would be the main idea. So now if we actually try this, oh, what, 250, I have to say random, makes sense. Method init of player input, well, I guess message that's here. I guess that player input also takes in the player ID. But I don't think we care. Well, I mean, let's do it. Who knows what I'm gonna do and forget about that. That would be player.player ID. Anyway, it actually compiled. I have a feeling that this language is the kind of language that if it compiles, it actually runs. Okay, so like we can easily just consume stuff, right? And let's create a new client. So now if we try to attack him, right? And okay, Right, so it actually works, the random stuff. It gave him with 0 points a chance against these guys. So, and like the points seem to be fine, like 5 divided by 2 was, yeah, like 2. So less points overall on the map, which I think is good, because otherwise, like if the winner takes all the points from the loser, then things can just, you know, always increase, and I think that's not good. I think it's better to keep the scores as low as possible. Like on each fight, this will go, right, and it resets basically the points of this guy and doesn't really increase the points of this. So yeah, I think it's alright. See, now here it actually died when it attacked, so yeah, maybe like I mean, after some time it's gonna happen, so yeah, I think it's decent. I don't know, I think it's decent over logic like this. Seems alright. I'm not sure how it's gonna behave when we have more players, but it seems like an alright logic for player collision. So I mean, you know, would be more fun to actually remove the player from the game when it dies, but nah, I think it's fine. I think just resetting the position to random should be fine. And it's not necessarily just resetting, it's also gonna do an update. So if we reset the position on top of someone else, it's just gonna rerun the check collision again, so it can have a chain reaction. So yeah, that's, but of course, like, it's gonna be really rare to have that. Like, what are the chances of the same position? I guess the map is somehow probably big enough. Where do we create a map? So I just wanted to see the, oh yeah, here it's 16 by 12. Yeah, not a huge map, but like, I guess if we have 10 players, it will probably have a bigger chance of randomly colliding. Yeah, like, imagine if it just starts to, like, you can get a Stack Overflow from that, but yeah, whatever. Okay, so the let's say that this thing is done. Like, I think it's all right. I'm not sure if we want to show a message. Like, to send here to other a message with like fight lost, and to the winner fight won. Maybe like make the screen a bit red when you get the damage. And yeah, I don't know, like, when you win maybe some particles, so probably it makes sense to actually add those messages. Yeah, I mean, let's see. So share logic for damage. message. So to 7 player. I mean, it's player position and stuff, player fight win dot the serialize rest. Okay, no, Fifi. We added two ifs, so two end ifs. Alright, so yeah, I guess player fight win and player fight lose. So these are gonna be pretty similar to disconnected because they're gonna be just, I mean, they're not even gonna need the player ID. That's funny. Maybe we can show against, like, other ID for the other player ID, like who beat us or who we beat, something like that. City other ID. All right. This should be 7. Other ID. And when we deserialize, I think this is good enough. Yeah, and this should be player fight win. Did I yeah, first I said win and then lose, so, and I guess player fight lose is gonna be the same thing, but message type is 8. Okay, so back to the server. Right, so here we might want, yeah, to send basically the win and lose message. So it's gonna be just send. So I think it's gonna be just send. So we send to the player the message. So send, we send to other new player lose, wait, player fight lose dot init player dot player ID, like the other player, and send to player fight win. And let's see if Copilot knows how to handle this one. So we send to player that he lost and to other that he won. Yeah, now we don't handle these cases, so let's go in the client, and in receive, oh, we have quite a lot of messages. So like if we try to run this now, whoa, all right, so here I forgot, it's and I even checked player ID. Right, so we actually needed the player ID. So now if, for example, we have two clients, wait, this guy literally spawned on a coin. Yeah, pretty funny. So if I thought it's gonna crash. It disconnected the player. Somehow I sent a disconnect message. Let me check. So this is 8, this is 7. Yeah. Strange, because this says 8. I was expecting to see the abort message. I mean, these are just comments. Pretty interesting though. Yeah, whatever. Maybe it actually did that and I didn't see it. Player 5 to win is gonna be a 7 and player 5 to lose, it's an 8. Strange. Anyway, let's go into client. Message, what if it's player fight lose? Let's just IO, you lose a fight. Right, it's like a fight but not the entire battle. Anyway. Okay. So if... Wait, why does it disconnect? It just did disconnect. Disconnected message. Wait, what? Disconnected message. I mean, disconnected message. I mean, I wanted to do class disconnected message. But yeah, this is like sent when we get an error while reading the buffer. So in here, did we literally get an error? Out int, Jesus. Like those are lengths, right? And what if... Alright, I mean... Naturally, we have no errors. It just... What the hell? I mean, it's not really remove player, right? Oh yeah, it is remove player. Dude, seriously? Player disconnected. Bro, I'm sure like it's... How am I blind and not seeing that? Like, this is 8, this is 7. Right, I don't see where's the mistake. So new IO. Let's Jesus. I mean, you have so many examples without string. Come on, dude, seriously, Copilot. I mean, we're gonna see a lot of random garbage, but so it gets per disconnect, so it's kind 7, right? It's kind 7, and it literally does this one. What? But I mean, it's gonna be player fight win, and I'm curious to see if in this one it's gonna be player like an 8, because it should be an 8. Yeah, it's an 8. So we get the right messages. We get the right messages. But somehow not the right. No. It's not it, right? I mean, everything inherits from message. And I just moved this one at the end. But it's like, I don't get it. Like, how does... Right. Okay, I forgot about the kind, which, I mean, looked fine. So the kind is fine. But I swear to God, if it's like a bug in the compiler, that would be bad. Okay, so let's see. Remove. All right. And what if we say something like message.serialize? That's a thing, right? Yeah, it's a thing. So like, should we see a 5 there? We see a 6. So it actually got, bruh. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Here we should return the class. It's, I don't know how I didn't check that. Jesus. Damn, it means that the compiler is actually kind of working. That's pretty nice to hear. Okay, so yeah, basically, like, the mistake was I was instantiating the wrong class in the serialize. So yeah. So let's see. Now you win a fight, you lose a fight. Right. Man, the guy's on a roll. Right. So I guess now we can actually maybe do something with this. Let's see. Okay, whatever. These are the new messages. And on the server, yeah. Fight messages. But not sure what we want to do with the messages. Like, I guess when you lose, maybe make the screen red for a frame, something like that. Guess it makes sense to jump scare you when you lose. Let's do something like a variable, fight lose, fight win or something. And in here, let's say fight lose is true. And this is fight win is true. And now inside of draw, we can say like if fight lose, then not sure what to do though, else 0 phi. But what can we do here? Yeah, but that would be just for a single frame, right? But let's see how that would look like. Let's see if Copilot. Oh, good job, mate. Clear background. And it's easier like that. Wait, why does it? Man, do you really need that? Can't you just... I don't think it can use... I mean, let's just do the red screen and that's it. Not... whatever. Okay, so this would just make the screen red forever, but let's just see how it would look like. Yeah, whatever. Let's do, so basically we clear the background with red, and then we immediately also set fight to loose to false, like this. So basically, wait, what? Again, I forgot about, but we don't really care about that, I think, so might just remove it. Fine. Let's see if a single frame of red screen is enough. Yeah, I guess it is. It's like you took damage. Whatever, maybe it's a bit too much, but yeah, we'll see. And in case of a win fight, I don't know what to do actually. Would be nice to, you know, play a sound, but if fight win, don't really want to jump scare the guy who won, so IO out string you know, dopamine inducing sounds, nice sounds and particles. Okay, I mean something like this. Sure, but you know, this would be just part of, you know, polishing the game, and like if I actually want to do something like this, maybe, you know, just implement the game in a real engine. This is more like for making fun. You know, I'm not really sure who won. Let's see again. So let's follow this guy. Looks like, wait, what is the message in the other place? Bruh, not really sure. Literally, I mean, I'm not sure who is who though. Wait a second. So let's give him a point just to remember that that's the first one, and the guy with 0 is the second one. So if this guy wins, we should see the message here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it works. But I would do a new line here just to have that. So some UI, but it's not great. Like, would be nice to have an animation, not just a flash. So, but not gonna do that. Not really a point to doing that. So I guess the last thing could be to somehow choose a winner after some time. So let's have a reset function on the lobby. Let's say it returns an object, and what I think, let's see if Copilot actually did it. So we iterate all the players, if we have a player, then we randomize its position and we just update. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Like, it's the same thing. Maybe we also want to reset the score, so let's say set score player.set score 0, and I think that player update, does it also handle the score? Wait, where do we, oh, here we handle the score. Okay, so then let's have score reset and no longer have set score. Player score reset. Okay, so this would be the reset function. It resets all the players. The coin stays where it is, doesn't matter. But yeah, like I can run here a timer and call reset on that timer. So it would be probably something like time is gonna be a new time. Then we're gonna have start time is gonna be time. Right. Current time, just this. Not really. Let's have around time is gonna be like 60. I don't know what 60 is though. I think this returns in milliseconds or something, so we'll have to see. So while time.time minus start time, we don't do anything apparently. But I mean, since the, where is it? This guy is in a while through. So I was just curious to see what that value is. So out int, oh no, I deleted it. Minus start time, and then let's put a new line. Whoa, okay, so it is seconds. That's interesting. So it is in seconds. All right, it is in seconds. No, but I don't want to just stop everything once the timer runs out. So how can we do that? I mean, this is just a while loop for accepting connections. Right, it just accepts connections. So no logic there. I mean, sure, maybe it would have made sense to run this in the main thread. It's more like it's the main thread. But don't think it matters. And then this thing, wait, it accept is blocking, right, if I remember correctly, so I mean it is what it is. yeah, obviously it makes sense to be blocking. So here we just, oh, I call this one round time, and it's round time. So then how can we use this thing better? Like, I would probably do a while through loop, right? And if this happens to be false, then we reset the start time and we show message, but that would be like a while through, which, I mean, it's fine. So while through loop and then a pool. So then let's just move this thing. Okay, so if this thing is smaller than equal, we don't have the other operator, it's fine. You can say then, yeah, something like this. We just reset the lobby. I mean, it's fine. But let's make the timer a bit smaller, like 5 seconds. And also print a message. New. Oh yeah, round ended. Okay, doesn't round ended. Okay, I mean, it looks like it works. Right. But I mean, I can see a problem with it. It's, I mean, it's the problem with you know, creating objects and stuff in a while through loop. So that, I mean, this method doesn't really work. Then yeah, I mean, we cannot really use while through loops, so I guess we cannot really do reset. Then maybe the other thing that we can do is, once a player reaches to, let's say, like 100 points, that's when we end it. So let's say in here, in score increase, lobby check win, and I think we want to send in player ID. Let's see. So here we have check win, be an object. We have to do the same. Well, we can just send self and check the score directly. So yeah, we can actually say self, and I think we can access the score. So then in here we are gonna have a player if player.score, say 100 is less or equal, then we have a else 0, and here we can say player win and reset. So we send to everyone that a player won. So now we go to messages and let's add kind is equal to 9, then new player win, serialize rest, and we should add a fee. So I guess player win is exactly the same as player disconnected, so let's just copy paste this one, and we just have to not forget about creating the message here, but I think the rest is the same. So yeah, I think this is fine here. So inside of client we have to handle the new message, so message player win. This is like completely win, so game win. I guess although this is for a specific player, so we can maybe say like game winner is gonna be like an int. So yeah, so we have the game winner, but I think it should have probably be like a boolean and also the int. But I mean, probably it's fine like this also. So we can store a -1, and if the player wins, then we can actually just get the game winner ID, right? So game winner, but I wouldn't really close everything. I would say just game winner is just, you know, the player ID. And when we draw stuff, if probably 0 is game winner, then now what I would probably do is just show the message for now. Let's just show the message for now. Oh, but I mean the score is pretty big, so that's never gonna happen. Let's do it like if the score is 5 for now, just for testing purposes. So let's add another client. Right, so now if this guy tries to win, right, it's gonna be player 5 wins. So it was who? The second? Yeah. Right, and everything is reset. So, and again. Right, and now it's the other one, I think. I'm not sure though. Yeah. So I guess that's good, right? Let's choose a winner. But what I would actually like to do is to also have, maybe let's say, not necessarily just a single time, but actually draw the winner text. So we can do that. Let's say So I'll probably do something like if 0 is less than equal than game winner, then do something else 0. And in here, what if we do arraylib draw text last winner and maybe like this, like it's gonna show up all the time, like after someone wins it's gonna show their ID. Now what's gonna be interesting is when someone new joins, they're not gonna see that, so maybe that's the only issue. But maybe it's not even important to, like, if a new client joins, they're not gonna see that. But that's like, is it even important though for them? Right. Let's try to feed the yeah. Okay, I guess it's fine like this to show the last winner, and if a new client joins, then I don't think it's necessary for them to see and let me just do this thing. So maybe like if game winner is equal to player ID, and then something like this. And here let's be mean and say you lost. You actually lost. I mean, I think it's fine like this. So game, build a server, build a client and stuff. So the other client, and now if we just try to, you win. Oh, I mean, I don't really want to do it more than once, so game win is gonna be boolean, right? So here game win is gonna be set to true. And I guess here let's say and game win, and then maybe something like if game win, then we make it false, just to make it easy. So now it should display it only once. Let's I mean, it's interesting that now it's 2. I guess I missed something, but I'm not sure what. Wait. What? Oh. Small mistake. So this should be inside of this. Man, this language is really nice because you can have really ugly formatting. Oh, okay, so the if, and then I'll make this false, and this actually should work. It's just for the server. So let's make the client other client. So yeah, okay, so now it shows only one message for winning and losing. Okay, now you're feeding, bro. Okay, yeah, he won again. So yeah, I think this is pretty decent now. Not sure how we can test it with more players, but that would be interesting to do. So yeah, I'll try to see how I can do that though, and you know, just to get some nice footage of the game. That would be interesting. I mean, I was thinking to do a client in JavaScript, but like, meh. You know, to be able to run it from any browser, because with this one you can only run it from Linux, because I mean, it's from scratch, and yeah, I didn't really care about making it usable. I mean, it's a completely trash language, so it's more like for the memes. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, you know, the client works. Would probably need a way to input the IP address though, so that's also something that we can add. Maybe that can be done easily with, so here we connect. Yeah, like let's say here we say in string, right? We read the IP, and then in int, and we read the port. So maybe that's how we want to make the client work. Or I guess the port is always going to be 8080, for example, or we can make it 6969. And then, you know, if you run the server on some virtual machine on cloud, you can get an IP for it. So yeah, that would be my idea. And the other idea was, you know, just re-implement the entire client, like all of this stuff, in JavaScript, and use WebSockets to connect to the server. But I think that's too much. Like, you know, it defeats the purpose of using the client, because like the client is what you actually see. The server is just the logic behind the client, which, I mean, it's more important because you can implement your own client. Like, I guess if you know the messages protocol, you can implement your own client for the game. That's how, you know, hacked game clients are implemented. But yeah, like if you want, you can implement your own client if you know all the messages. And I guess have wall hacks, although you don't need them. No, I'm curious if there are any bugs that you can exploit in the game. Like implement a client where you can send messages for other clients. That's the thing that I'm pretty sure you can do. But I mean, I guess that's everything for the game. I just make the score in the server a bit higher than 5, so maybe let's say the score is gonna be 25 for a round. It's not that high and I think it's good, so yeah, here we had the player win, and for the client we just added that game winner and basically display the last winner. So I mean, you know, you can make the new client that just joins can make a request to the server, hey, give me the last winner. The server responds, but win message and stuff. So yeah, I mean, let's take a look at the game one more time. So now with the real score activated, let's also spawn an enemy, maybe adding bots, but no, that's, or maybe, you know, when you kill a player you get more points, maybe you get 2 points, because otherwise you might as well just run for the coins. So like it's too risky to, once you get to, oh, it was a coin that spawned right on that guy. Like once you get to a certain amount of points it becomes too risky to attack the small ones. But you know, for the small ones it's gonna become like, oh, I really need to attack him. He's gonna win, you know, like let's see what happens. My god, it just reset the entire score. Like it halves it, right? So that's, I think that's good. I think that's a good balance. Yeah, but we don't really show any, like let's see what happens when we win. I think it's just showing the, yeah, it just shows the last winner, but we don't have names on the players. So yeah, maybe that's the thing that we can easily add, though, the player name. So when we, I guess when we draw the player, where is it? Where is the, really? I thought that I have a draw. Oh, I'm on the server. So draw. Right in here we just draw the rectangle and the text for the score. But I guess we can also draw the name. Like let's say font size is gonna be this, measure text. Let's say the text is gonna be player concat player ID. So we get this. Then for Y, we can say it's gonna be pos Y minus, let's say we want to subtract font size divided by 2. We might also want to subtract like 10, but also like, what's the player size? Player size Y, okay. So size Y, I think full size Y. Let's see how that looks like. Okay, I mean, what? So many errors. So line 49, okay, I have a comma there. Okay, perfect. So now if we run this, interesting. I mean, it's a bit too big, first of all, then. But then we have that weird character at the end. I remember I had it once before, but I don't remember how I fixed it. Yeah, I don't know, like, you know, you can add all sorts of stuff. Let's see what happens if we divide by 2. I mean, it becomes a bit too scuffed, to be honest. I don't like it. But you get the point. So, yeah. Like, now we have the game connecting to the server, and you can actually play it. So, I mean, I guess it's pretty cool that we managed to do something like this from scratch, basically. I mean, you know, it's not really as hard as doing it in assembly, because we have the language, and it's a bit better than doing it straight up in assembly. But I mean, I think it's still cool that we actually managed to use the language that we made a compiler for to the multiplayer game. Like, that's pretty huge. So what did I change? Whatever. So yeah, I think for today that is everything. And yeah, I guess I'll try to make like again a summary of this small project, although it's much smaller than the compiler. It's like only 1 week, but I think it would still be valuable to get an idea of how it is to make this game from scratch, because yeah, I mean, it was pretty much making a language to be able to make a game. But yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess that's all for today, so see you next time.